as take charge is concerned, how did it meet your expectations? Do you think you would have gotten more?
I liked your examples. You did a real good job on the examples. Like I love the fact that you would go and you would actually you would describe, you know, like you'll talk about desperate treatment and you'll talk about you provide an example. The examples are really good. I like those, and they really fit my needs. It gets my head around it because I learn by reading and stuff like that. I can do practicals and this and that, and my thing is interviewing and stuff like that. I've done criminal interviews. I've probably done maybe a couple thousand in my career, you know, and but mainly the criminal, they're a little different. You tend to go outside the scope. I think for me personally, I picked up the most is sticking to the scope of the EEO investigation. That's an accepted claim. And I realized, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense, you know, because in a criminal case, you can go off if you have reason to believe, you have reasonable suspicion to believe that another crime has been committed. You know, you may be investigating an aggravated assault, and then you might realize, hey, I might have a sexual assault on this guy's sister or something, you know, and so you got that latitude to do that in a criminal investigation. Whereas you can go where it leads you. Where it was nice in the EEO process, what I liked how you explained in the sessions is that whatever's in that accepted claim, that's your scope, and you stick to your scope. You know, unless later on you get an amendment or you get something like that or something that's amended or whatever by the agency. I get that, and I think that's probably for my needs made me as a criminal investigator. It's important for me to know, you know, that to stay on point, to stay within the scope. Always refer back to that accepted claim. And I like the investigative plan. We seldom do investigative. We have strategy memos we do. Strategy, that's what we call it. This is going to be your investigative strategy. It's the same thing as an investigative plan. It took me a while to realize what an investigative plan was versus what I'm used to. And then I was like, oh, that's our strategy. It's the exact same thing, you know. And because you broke it down where what it should entail. You know what I mean? And I realized, oh, that's the same thing that we do with our strategies, investigative strategies. And I review those and improve those for my agents all the time. You know, they'll get like a murder or something, and they'll say, all right, boss, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do X, Y, Z, or whatever. Here's the elements, but we have to frame out the elements of offense. We usually know that they're boilerplate, and then this is how we're going to improve it, who we're going to interview, and what needs to be done forensically. We do a lot of forensic stuff, so a little different. It's more entailed, but what I saw that the investigative plan was pretty much that, but within the scope, you know, I was like, oh yeah, that's easy. Yeah, it's easy, simple. So yeah,
it is.
Yeah. You know, I think because my investigative realm is this big, I just typed it up for EEO like right here, and I could smoke it. You know, that's my thing is I can smoke it. You know, I can make it look good. You know what I mean? Shoot, you know. I mean, that's just kind of like my experience, you know. And I got a gazillion writing examples and for any potential contractor or anything like that. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm really fascinated with it, and I'm a big believer in protecting folks from discrimination. I did it in the workplace, in the federal government as a supervisor. I was one of those guys that always had an infinite mindset in the workplace where I'm not there for myself. I'm there to, you know, for the betterment of the agency and the people we serve. You know what I mean? And so I've always had an infinite mindset. I don't know if that's just being Christian or whatever, but you know, I just kind of have this attitude like, you know, you gotta look out for folks, and I think this is something I'm very fascinated with, you know, and I'm really good at being impartial and objective. You know, I have a real good objective face when I'm actually working. So, but yeah, I really like the course. I mean, the sessions were really good. I really enjoyed the other panelists, participants, students, like Tisha and those gals over there. They're They're awesome. I love them. I was just, in the mock interviews, I can tell some of them had a hard time with the interviews because they've never done it before. So I can really see how Take Charge can really help folks who've never done this kind of work before. And so that's what I was really fascinated with, was how you were able to, that process where you can bring a student who's never done these type of things in interviewing, investigations, or anything, and you can get them to where they can, at the end of it, after 32 hours, they can recommend, like, oh, okay. And I think out of those sessions, for a guy like me, with my background, I was able to look at it and I can see that development of these gaps. So that was pretty cool. I think